Hello, and welcome to Own Your Becoming, a podcast about power, wisdom, and authenticity, where we talk lifestyle and the deeper journey of self-love and midlife transformation. We can't control perimenopause. We don't know when the rite begins, what symptoms may show up, or how long it lasts, and it's futile to fight against change. So, how can we work with it? Where do we still have agency? The three foundations we do have influence over are what we eat, how we move, and what we think. That's why I created this podcast, because awareness is power. When you understand what's happening in your body and you see how your choices shape your experience, you step out of helplessness and into agency. So today, we're going to focus on food. We'll look at the key shifts that can make a real difference in the season, how your brain's fuel changes, why protein matters more than ever, what to know about fasting and morning workouts, how caffeine lands differently now, why inflammation is such a big player, and how mindful eating reconnects you to your body. Any one of these shifts, if you begin to work at it, can move the needle on your clarity, your energy, and your overall well-being. And if you're already noticing poor sleep, brain fog, or low energy, and you know your eating habits are off track, maybe you're leaning on alcohol to cope, this episode is for you. Stick around, because once you see how food interacts with your body in perimenopause, you'll never look at it the same way again. Now, let's be clear. Food is not a magic eraser. Even the most nourishing diet may not guarantee a symptom-free ride, especially in the thick of hormonal changes. But here's what we do know. Poor nutrition will make things worse. Research shows that women who eat a Mediterranean-style diet not only reduce their risk of heart disease and stroke by about 25%, but also report 20% fewer hot flashes and night sweats. And women who eat enough fiber, about 28 grams a day, have been shown to experience fewer and milder hot flashes. So while food may not ease symptoms completely, it shapes how intensely they feel, how long they last, and how resilient your body is through it all. The goal isn't perfection, and it isn't to chase away every symptom. It's to work with your body instead of against it, to notice how food makes you feel, to listen when symptoms send you signals, and to respond with choice that supports balance and resilience. Let's start with the brain. As estrogen declines, your brain becomes less efficient at burning glucose, that's the sugar from carbs. It begins leaning more on fat as an alternative source of fuel. When you keep relying on quick carbs, your brain struggles to keep up, and the result is feeling brain fog, feeling scattered, or mid-afternoon crashes. But when you anchor meals in protein and healthy fats, the fuel is steadier. The brain runs clearer, calmer, and sharper. As neuroscientist Lisa Mosconi explains in The Menopause Brain, our brain cells are, in very large part, made of the foods we eat. Meal after meal, day after day, those foods, and more specifically, the nutrients they contain, become the very fabric of our brains. Which means every food choice is literally shaping your brain health. That's a powerful thought. And if you want to learn more, I've linked to Lisa Mosconi's book, The Menopause Brain, in the show notes. Now, let's talk about weight. Declining estrogen doesn't just affect the brain, it slows metabolism. Your body shifts to storing fat more around the belly. Muscle mass declines, so you burn fewer calories even at rest. Insulin sensitivity drops, making it easier to store fat from the same food that once felt effortless. This is why weight gain in perimenopause is so common, especially around the midsection, even when your habits haven't changed. Which is why how you fuel now matters more than ever. Shifting away from constant carbs and towards protein and healthy fats helps steady blood sugar, protect muscles, and give your body the kind of energy it can actually use. Now, protein. In perimenopause, muscle loss accelerates. Without attention, women can lose up to 10% of their muscle in just a few years. That doesn't just mean less strength. It means slower metabolism, less stability, higher risks of falls, more blood sugar swings. Muscle is protective. Muscle is medicine. Protein is the foundation. It steadies blood sugar, supports metabolism, strengthens bones, and quiets cravings. It increases satiety, keeping you full, steady, and less likely to chase sugar or snacks later. Aim for 75 to 90 grams per day, or 20 to 30 grams with every meal, especially in the morning. If there's one thing I invite you to experiment with this week, it's this. Start your first meal with 30 grams of protein. And notice how different you feel compared to a carb-heavy breakfast. Does your energy stay steadier? Does your mood feel calmer? Do your cravings quiet down? And if you'd like guidance, I've created a free perimenopause meal guide. It includes macro ratios, protein targets, and fiber goals, plus simple meal ideas you can try right away. You'll find the link in the show notes. For those of you who love early morning workouts, maybe you've heard that intermittent fasting is the secret. Wake up, stay fasted, head out for a run, and fuel after. Here's the catch. Training on an empty stomach spikes cortisol, your main stress hormone, and perimenopause is already a high cortisol season. When cortisol stays high, you don't feel strong and energized. You feel wired, depleted, and inflamed. Maybe running fasted worked beautifully in your 20s or 30s, but if you're in perimenopause and noticing stubborn weight gain despite the same routine, or even longer, harder workouts, it may be your fuel. This doesn't mean fasting is bad. A 12 to 14-hour overnight fast is plenty. But within an hour of waking, give your body something. Light but nourishing. A protein shake, some yogurt. It doesn't take much. It's simply a way of telling your body, you're safe, you're fed, you're ready. For me, I can't stomach a full meal right after waking. So I make a half-scoop protein shake with collagen and 2 tablespoons of ground seeds. Seeds bring healthy fats, fiber, minerals, and antioxidants. They stabilize blood sugar, support digestion, and feed your microbiome. And for me, it's become a ritual, a way to honor my cycle while nourishing my body. After my morning run or walk, I enjoy my coffee. Coffee is a ritual I absolutely love. But perimenopause changes how many women handle caffeine. What once gave a clean boost may now trigger jitters, anxiety, hot flashes, or wreck your sleep. As Dr. Lisa Mosconi explains in The Menopause Brain, caffeine can be a double troublemaker in this season. It can intensify hot flashes and disrupt sleep for up to 12 hours after you drink it. She even points out a freshly brewed espresso may actually be gentler than an Americano because the shorter extraction time means less caffeine overall. For me, I still drink 2 small coffees every morning, 2 single-shot espressos, half decaf, half regular. That way, I get the pleasure of 2 coffees but with less caffeine. And because I've had my protein shake first, the caffeine is buffered. It lands softer in my system. And that works for me. The invitation for you is simple. Experiment. Notice how coffee makes you feel now. Does it sharpen you, or does it leave you wired and restless? And then there's inflammation. Perimenopause itself is an inflammatory event, which is why aches, stiffness, joint pain, and that puffy feeling are so common. Food can either feed the fire or cool it down. Sugar, alcohol, and processed foods add fuel, while vegetable, omega-3s, herbs, and spices soothe and calm. As Lisa Mosconi explains, nutrient-dense foods like fiber-rich plants and omega-3 fats don't just reduce inflammation. They bolster resilience, brighten mood, help you sleep, and sharpen focus. The reverse is also true. Processed food, sugar, and alcohol can worsen menopause symptoms, trigger brain fog, and drain energy. Bottom line, build half your plate from plants. Add a palm-sized protein, include omega-3 or olive oil, and keep ultra-processed food rare. And if this feels overwhelming, or you just want someone to tell you what to eat, I've created a free meal plan template. It shows you what macro ratios to aim for, your fiber goals, what foods are anti-inflammatory, plus simple recipes. You can find it on my website. The link is in the show notes. We've talked about what to eat. Now let's talk about how you eat. Lisa Mosconi in The Menopause Brain describes mindful eating as using your senses, taste, touch, smell, to truly experience your food. Most of us eat rushed, distracted, eyes glued to screens. But when you slow down, you taste more, you notice fullness, and you actually enjoy your meal. I experienced this firsthand when I spent a week at a Shaolin temple in Europe. All meals were eaten in silence. We began with a prayer, giving thanks, setting intention for nourishment, and then we ate in complete silence. At first, it was awkward. Where do you look when no one's talking? You end up looking at your food, really seeing it. And my colleague and I both noticed the food tasted richer. We ate slower, and we became more aware of fullness. So here's your invitation. Try it for one meal this week. Turn off the screens. Take a breath before you start. Taste each bite. Notice how your body responds. Mindful eating isn't a diet. It's a way of honoring your food and, by extension, honoring yourself. So here's the picture. Your brain is changing fuel. Your metabolism is slowing. Your muscles are asking for more protein. Your hormones are asking for less stress. Your nervous system is asking for less stimulation. And your body is asking for less inflammation. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. One mindful choice at a time. One meal, one shake, one less coffee, one more serving of greens. So, what's one thing you're willing to experiment with over the next 7 days? Let me know in the comments below. And if there's a particular topic you'd like me to go deeper on, whether it's protein, brain health, inflammation, or something else, tell me in the comments. I'll do a deep dive in future episode. Remember, perimenopause isn't a problem to fix. It's a season to live, to learn, and to rise through. And the best time to start nourishing yourself is now. Thank you for joining me today. If this spoke to you, share it with a friend who's walking a similar path. And be sure to follow so you don't miss what's next. Remember, Perimenopause isn't a problem to fix. It's a rite of passage to rise into. Stay wise, stay wild, and keep rising. This is Wendy Wang. Until next time, keep owning your becoming.